Hello again. Okay, so for today's English, if you could please write your date and your skill. I'm sure you're pros at that now. Your spag skill today is to identify the correct homophone. Okay, so we've spoken about homophones in our spelling lessons. Okay, so if you want to write those down, pause the video and then come back when you're ready to move on. Okay, so we need to select the correct homophone for each sentence. So number 1 is the brakes on Anakin's pod racer did not work properly. Number 2, Anakin took a break from his chores. Number 3, Anakin had to wear goggles to protect his eyes. Number 4, Anakin didn't know where his goggles were. And number 5, you need to choose the correct spelling. So you haven't got a choice between homophones. You're going to choose it. So the sky was a deep blue. Number 6, the sandstorm blew across the desert. Okay, so you need to choose the correct homophones for the first 4, and then you need to change the blue for the correct spellings. Okay, so take your time, write the sentences out including the correct spellings, and then come back when you're ready. Okay, great job. So here are your answers. So the first one, the brakes on Anakin's pod race did not work properly. So you can see the one in green is the correct version of the word. Okay, and then brake, and then wear, and then wear again. So the first wear is wear goggles, or wear clothes, and then wear with the H in it as well is obviously directional wear. And the sky was a deep blue, so it's blue as in the colour, and then the sandstorm blew, like the wind blows. Super. Okay, so your skill for English today then is to plan a travel log, including a detailed description. So, you are now on your return journey home from the planet Tatooine. You are happy to be coming home as your experiences were not altogether great. You now have the task of planning your entry into the legendary planet so that you are ready to write at your desk in the office tomorrow. As you leave, a stranger hands you this file to watch on the way back to planet Earth. Do you learn anything more about the planet? Okay, so with the notes you've made over the last couple of days, have a quick watch of this video. It's not very long. Okay, see if you can add anything else to the notes you've already got.
Hey! Hey! Help! Please help!
Okay, so did you learn anything new about this planet? Now, we knew it was a desolate planet and we knew it is a desert planet. Okay, what we have learned today is that R2D2 tells C3PO that their settlements over the way he wanted to go. Now, settlements is places where people live, and we don't know that at the moment. We didn't know that, so that's something we have learnt. Okay, because as far as we can see, there's nobody else around. But then C3PO wanted to go one way because he said it was too rocky the other way. Okay, and then when the camera turned around, we could see that there was rocky and mountainous the other way. So we have learnt something new. Okay, so now you have to plan the layout of your page, okay, for the travel guide and the information that you will include. Remember, this is written for a visitor and it needs to include general facts and more detailed description. So you have to keep thinking to yourself, if you were going to go and visit this planet, what would you want to know? They're the kind of things that you need to be telling people on your travel guide. So you can use your own imagination to create more depth to any part of your writing, but you must include a paragraph where you'll focus on the 5 senses, okay, or the fantastics. Okay, so let's start by describing this scene together. How do the fantastics guide us through the description? Okay, so when we're thinking about the fantastics, okay, so we've got the F for feelings. So this might be the character's feelings. Okay, so how they would be feeling. And then asking, Okay, we've got any speech or dialogue that will be happening in the video. We've got noticing, so what do the characters see, or what do you see around? Okay, it could be in front of you, it could be all around you. Touching, what things might feel like. And you've got the action, how are people moving? Are they moving quickly? Are they moving fast? Could you pick up on any smells? What might you be smelling if you were there? And tasting, the same thing. What could you perhaps be tasting? Imagining is what the characters perhaps are thinking about. And then the check-in is the sounds that you might be hearing. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the video and see if you can add any of those into your description. Okay, so you might have picked up on lots of different parts of the Fantastics there. Okay, you might have said about the character's feelings. So you might have mentioned that Luke was feeling disappointed because he wanted to leave to go to the academy and he wasn't allowed. He had to stay on for another year. Okay, you might have mentioned that there was discussion between characters. Okay, and questioning. You might have written things down what you notice, so what's all around. So you may have noticed the two suns. Okay. You might have said that Luke ran up the stairs, or he poured a nice cold glass of fresh milk. Okay, as an action. And you could perhaps say that you could taste the milk. Okay, there's lots of different things that you could include, and that's using your Fantastics and your senses will really help you add description to your writing. Okay. So your page can include a mixture of pictures, okay, with the captions. You've done captions before, okay, and an overall introduction, facts and stats, and also a personal account and recommendation for the visitor. So that's when you'll be writing your first person using I, okay, when you're writing it from a personal point of view. You need to include adjectives and adverbs to interest your reader, okay, and then think about how you're going to structure the layout of your page. You could use subheadings to help you. So as you can see for this one here, the Welcome to Japan, it's got a picture. Okay, then it's also got subheadings. So it's got Japan is open for travel. So that tells us that that section there is going to be about travel. Okay, Japan is approachably exotic and Japan makes you think. Okay, and it's got a photo here, a picture here, and the caption there. It tells us what's happening in the picture. Okay, so this is your page. You can decide on your layout, but make sure it's really interesting to the reader. Okay, so this is a really good waggle. Okay, so you can include a heading. So this heading is Welcome to Tatooine. You're going to include an introduction, which is a short overall snapshot of the planet and where it is in the galaxy. Okay, you might want to include here that it's a dry desert planet. Okay, all the things that you've learned and made your notes on so far, this is where you're going to really use them. So the history, describe what the planet was like and how it's changed and what caused the change. The geography and the climate. Okay, write about the landscape, what the planet looks like. Okay, you can even use that video clip that we've just seen today with R2-D2 saying about the settlements and a C-3PO saying it's rocky. The people and the race. So what do the people do? Their jobs, the entertainment, festivals, where they live, who are natives, the food and drink and places to visit. Okay, there was a video clip, I think it was on Wednesday, that we watched where they went to the bar and there's all the funny alien type beings and they were having a drink and live music, the instruments. So that's where you can write all about that. Okay, and the animal and the wildlife. So the banters and the crates, advice and warnings, and the lack of plant life because it's a desert planet. Then you're going to really include a detailed description, okay? So this is an example. So it's going to include a first person account. or experience. So you're going to use your senses to describe those. Okay, think of the fantastics, think of what you can include, go back and rewind the video if you want to go through those again. Okay, really think about your senses. So when you're writing, will the reader be able to identify each of the senses that you've used? Okay, so you might want to say about visiting the bar for a meal and a drink, listening to funky music, talking to a criminal who asks for help, threatening, fight breaks out in a corner, time to leave. Meet a Tuscan trader who takes me on a tour of the desert of Banthus, see a great dragon skeleton, feeling anxious, tired, scared, notice the binary suns, sandstorm come in, return to hotel. Okay, so really make sure your description is really focused and use your senses. Advice for the visitor and star rating explaining why you should or should not visit Tatooine. So you're all aware of the ratings that we get when we go to different places, so you can give this particular planet your own rating. You can decide on whether you think it's worth recommending or not. Okay, so use your fantastics to explode one piece of your text. You might not use all of them, but your reader should be able to pick out 5 sentences from your description. Choose your vocabulary really carefully so that it interests the reader. You might want to include a short glossary on your page, so a definition of certain words. You will also be given 3 images to use on your page. Where could you use them and what could your caption be? Okay, so these are the 3 images. So you must plan a travelogue including a detailed description. You should use the 5 senses or fantastics to structure your description. You could use a range of adjectives and adverbs to boost your writing. It always makes your writing so much more interesting when you use some really carefully thought of adjectives and adverbs. You might include a glossary and advice for the traveller. Okay. So that's all for today. So you are writing just like the waggle that we looked at. You are adding things for, from your own notes. You're making a page like this. Okay, excellent. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.